Going? We are going.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, great. Hi, welcome back to. I'm fading in and out of existence. Hi, welcome back to Tangent Podcast. We're actually doing this more often. You know, we always say, "Oh, we'll be back soon," blah blah. But this time, it actually happened. That hasn't happened since like 2018. Oh wait, I gotta start the music.
Oh. Yeah. Ooh. It's been like. Oh, I think if I mic the phone in the proper direction. There we go. It's been a while.
It's been like a week. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been about a week.
It feels like longer, honestly.
Yeah, a little, but it seems alright to me. I mean, it's better than like a month apart.
Yeah, it's better than like 8-9 months like we did before, for sure, for sure. So
yeah, it's like I got to give the baby steps.
Yeah, we're both in the cyber world today. What is this thing down? What is this? What is breaking in? Yo, this empty bag of chips I got over here. It's breaking into the cyber world. Moving that.
It's an NFT.
Yeah, it's an empty bag of hot Cheetos.
There we go.
That's a new NFT. Yeah.
I think you can sell it for like $1,000.
Oh yeah, I can sell it for like 8 Bitcoin. However much that's worth.
Jeez, man.
That's a lot. A millionaire. Yeah.
I think that last time I checked, it was like 40.
How much is a Bitcoin worth?
Let's see. Yeah. 8 times 4, 300.
It's about 44,000. So 44K
320
times 8.
Something.
No, don't give me like
8 times 4, man.
352,000.
There you go. It wasn't too off.
I can quit my job with that kind of money.
Are you sure?
I'll invest it. I don't know. I'll find Bill Gates. But Bill Gates, please. And he's like, oh, I make that while taking a bath.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of my job, I've been killing it. Like, apparently, the people, my bosses at my work, one of the other people at my work told me that they don't want me to know, but they're really impressed with how I'm doing, and that like they don't want to tell me because they don't want to kill my spirit to improve. But yeah, apparently I broke some records for their recruiting business and everything. So yeah, killing it.
Wow,
making that money. I don't get commission yet because it's my first 90 days, but it's being held for me, which hopefully they're not just saying that. Because my commission check will be several $1,000s. So, yeah,
that's good.
Real good. How about you, Mr. Mario? How's your work treating you?
It's been going good. Very relaxed, getting some work done, but it's been feeling relaxed more or less. I feel like throughout the week I kind of came to like I was thinking a lot. To the point where I had like frequent migraines about like plans I wanted to do for the future. I don't know how it's possible, but I think I overheated my brain to the point where I had to like lay down during my lunch break just so I can like stop thinking.
Jeez. Usually if anything like that happens to me, I just like to listen to some chill music and just like fade into it, you know?
You see, that would be the responsible thing to do. That would be the right thing to do, because then you can just like relax, meditate, anything to not think. But I'm a chronic overthinker.
He's a chronic thinker. Gotta stop him.
Yeah. So basically, I was just thinking about like what plans I wanted to focus on, and just going through my past, reading through my old notes that I wrote down, and I came to like a satisfying conclusion of things I found in life that I want to focus on. But I feel like I have some control over.
Are you cool like sharing that or no?
Yeah, sure. I feel like for the longest, my focus for the past 22 years has been to graduate without getting into any debt from college. More or less, that's been like the main goal. And the reason is because I saw 2008 and I was like, I don't want to go into serious debt. I want to live a debt-free life. And I wanted to graduate college because I saw that was like the biggest trap when I was like 10 years old. So I just made an effort. And through like the experiences we talked about during the show in the past, where I've been bullied, and when I just like family, events that occurred, it made me more empowered to try to stick through it for like the next 7 years after I got into high school. And because of that, I was just kind of left with like, oh, cool, I did everything. I got a job. I'm in programming. I'm doing, software development, and I'm helping out people like in a society based off my work. Maybe not the most direct way, but it does have some tangible effects. I can't say like I can at least sleep easy at the end of the day knowing that my work is not directly going to hurt somebody with like, I don't know, a bomb or some kind of like algorithm that's going to discriminate them in like housing or whatever. So it felt good.
Sorry.
Yeah. So more or less, I basically just thought that, hey, what do I do now? Because I didn't want to peak early. I see that that's like a problem I saw older people had, where they did so much in their high school years and they just kind of like got everything they wanted. They don't have anything else they want to achieve. So I felt this anxiety for the past year and a half to try to find something, and I couldn't really figure it out. Particularly, at first I thought it was like, let me go and try to like do some little projects in programming, but it didn't feel interesting to me anymore. I wanted to get into like politics again, and I still care about it, but I still felt this sense of like I couldn't do a lot, because even if I wanted to like organizing stuff and I could help people, I felt like I was going for a solution that doesn't really address problems that I can even solve at this point. And I felt like because those problems were above me within my capacity, I could help up a little bit. I felt that there wasn't really a lot for me to do, and I was still left with the anxieties with like the rising tide of the far right, financial problems that have been happening in the past couple years, climate change, and all these things kind of made me anxious for quite a while. And also like my own family thing, where I was just like, some parts of my family, like part of my family is dead now because of health issues and complications, and lifestyle choices. And also people have been kind of like having a hard time with finances and just dealing with the pandemic, and I felt kind of like powerless to help people that I cared about the most, and I just didn't feel like I was satisfied with where I was right now. Even though I was doing personally good, I still felt that like a lack of purpose and the sense of anxiety and dread for everyone that I cared about. So more or less I decided to focus in, and I feel now that I kind of want to focus more on building up my skills to ideally sell a product or start a company soon. And I felt that what I want to try to do is work into things that involve like helping or supporting education or public health or personal health. And I felt like those are the things I'm more aware of because of my family background and just the people I'm with. Like, you're an educator. I have my other friend who's an educator. All of them trying to become teachers. I work partly in education to a degree with what I do, and I have like a lot of experience with scientific stuff with my previous jobs, and also just working for education organizations like my university in the past. So I was just felt like, yeah, I kind of want to work in this, figure out problems I can solve here, and ideally make some money off of it. So that way I can help out my family and such, and also help out society in the meantime. And I felt this kind of gave me some peace because there wasn't really a lot I can do for the other things. But the biggest lesson I found was that having a lot of money is really important, and it can solve a lot of problems that I see coming up in the future. So that's it.
Yeah, if you ever need any business advice or anything, I do have a degree in that and everything. So
I will ping you. I have you. I have another person that I could talk to, and some people I know at university. and I will be talking to you about it, like the lessons you learn about organization management
How
and
to structure things and
yeah,
how to be a boss. Yeah, it's important stuff to learn because if you mess
pretty
it up,
much.
not
Yeah.
great. So,
So
one of the biggest things they tell you is like like half of all businesses go under in the first 5 years, 3 year, five somewhere around there.
oh
So
yeah, that,
it's brutal, but also like you can always try again. There's nothing
yeah.
stopping you from doing that. So,
That
yeah, I
actually
mean,
happened to my mother too.
oh really?
Um, yeah, so I hope I'm not putting her on blast, but I'm sure she's okay with me talking about like the basic gist of it. When I was in college, part of the reason that helped me get to the point where I was debt free and able to pay for college without taking out loans was because I was kind of driven and forced to. During that time, my first year, my mom had left a company that she had worked for 7 years, and she wanted to go off on her own because she didn't feel like the current structure was working in the best for the people, and since she had wanted more flexibility to do things
Mhm.
on her own and build up her presence, since she's the one who's the face in the community at bringing business to the company she worked for, she thought, hey, let me try to sell and educate people in health insurance and try to make a name for myself. And I remember even building a website for her, trying to like talk about it. And a lot of the stuff came down to like a lack of a business plan, a lack of how to structure finances, and just not a lot of education, but a lot of hope and optimism.
Mhm.
And it fell through. It didn't work out, and to the point where I, like at one point, my mom basically like funded the first year of college I had for me because she saved it up. But after that, there was basically nothing left. And I always planned on getting like a job or finding some way to pay for college. But I expected like at the end I could always rely on my mom to like help me out if I really needed it.
Mhm.
And when I was like at the point where I realized, oh, she doesn't really have anything. It's right now like on credit cards again. There's not really a lot that we can do if something were to happen to me in college.
Mhm.
I just kind of like took that as a wake up call. Like I gotta do
Gotta do
something.
something. Yeah.
So I did freelance work. Tried to get some business. I was really at the point where I was like giving out business cards, like, "Hey, hire me in Woodville, hire me." And I remember you have my business cards at one
I
point.
still have it somewhere.
You,
Yeah.
you still have them. So because of that, I was just like, "Oh, I need to find business. I need to figure a way because I do not want to take a loan." I was at the point where I was like, I'd rather drop out of college than to go and get a loan because I do not want to get into debt. I'd rather like save up money. And what happened is after talking to people at this university about the situation, I got connected with the mass office at UCF. Shout out to Miss Tammy. And because of her and talking to the people in financial student services, I was able to get grants and scholarships for me to pay for a lot of my tuition and also um, other expenses like my books and other course materials, all paid for by the school. So tuition with my bright futures that I had, and then the books were taken care of, and the other expenses with the scholarships. So at that point, the only thing I needed was just money to pay for rent and find a place to live. And I managed to, with the freelancing and passing out my card around campus, people got connected to me, and I got my first job working for the university. And that's how I was able to pay my way through college by working. I was studying web development during my classes, and then after that, I was working at my job for 4 hours a day, and I came back home and did it every day, throughout the week.
Yeah, I just took on student debt. So opposite ends there. Hopefully, our current president did say he would get rid of the student debt, and oh my God, is a president going to go back on their campaign promises? No,
No,
they would
wouldn't.
never.
You
Um,
know,
it would be nice though. It saved me money. I mean, I
it
didn't, I
would.
didn't, I didn't borrow that much, because tuition wasn't huge. Where I
Mm,
went, but it's still, I think it's like 14, 15, 16, 17K. I don't remember the
mm.
exact amount off the top of my head. Repayment doesn't begin for like a month, I think. I gotta check. Um, But yeah, it won't cost me like it'll cost me like several $1,000s. But I think I make enough money at my current job so I can healthily start paying that off, given enough time. It's not like some people go to Harvard and rack up like $200K in debt.
I was so close to doing something like that when I was about to because I got like accepted into Georgetown, and I was like, I don't want to go and pay like $50K a semester to go into get my college, even though I know it's like a prestigious university. I was just like, it's financially unstable. Like I could never pay off that money, and I was like, unless I'm going to be like a foreign diplomat or work for like the Department of State, like a State Department,
it's just not worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work out unless I had connections. Maybe I might have made the connections there, but regardless, it was just, that's not worth it. I wouldn't put that upon anyone because that's crushing debt. Like right now, I have a debt probably equivalent to what you have, just paying off this car that I have because I needed it to just get around. It's impossible. Yeah, unfortunately in America, you just need a car. There's no negotiation. It's either you walk, maybe take the bus if it works, or you get someone else to drive you, but you need a car.
Definitely.
But
it's non-negotiable. So
you want to walk in America?
My car,
go to Philadelphia.
Unfortunately, has the check engine light's been on for 2 years. I don't know why. I've taken it in. They're like, I don't know. Your car's old and weird. The locks don't work. The engine. Sometimes when I take the key out, it just won't let me, and I have to fiddle the wheel and jiggle the key to get it out. Yeah, it's dying. Like it's got some time left, but it's not going to be great. And I'm just dreading being like, oh my god, it cost me so much money to get a new one.
I mean, it depends. Like I wanted a truck, but instead I just decided to get a sedan, like a nice car for under $25,000. Man, that worked out where I can afford to make the monthly payment. So, but still, it's just like it would be so nice to not have to pay it.
I think my car was $9,000 total. Like that's the total amount it cost, and I've had it for 6 years. So I don't know.
That's worth it.
It works. So yeah, that's really what matters. It takes me from place to place, but yeah, it's really good to hear that you're focusing on stuff you can do. I know, like, if you look back in the podcast history, like it's been something you've been thinking about and struggling with for a while. But it's good to hear that you overwork your brain so much you figured it out. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, I had that like a year or two, a year and a half, 2 years ago, where I kind of went wild for a little while and was like, oh my god. And then it was a tangent podcast episode. Afterwards, I was like, guys, I figured it out. And then that was the entire episode. And then like, I don't think anybody can even understand what I was saying because it's so personal, Like you try to explain to somebody else, like, cool, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, cool. How did you get there? Oh, I did this. Oh, I can't possibly do that because we have a completely different life, Yeah, but it's definitely good to hear that. So moving on topic, what have you been watching anything recently?
Yeah, I've been watching. Okay, so I kind of skimmed a bit with Komi-san. I'm actually not a fan.
My brother reads that, and like I read like the first few chapters. I'm like, it's just not for me,
I honestly, okay, here's the thing. I know people like it because it's like, oh my gosh, Komi's so cute, like she's trying to make friends, but I'm like, the premise is boring to me. Like, she's a fun character, and she's kind of like, she's a little cute, but it's like,
fun for like 3 episodes. Or like a couple, like 10, 20 chapters in a manga. It's like, okay, can we get some progression? It's like, no, this is a slice of life romance manga. We're going to be here for 300 chapters, and then we might get progress. Maybe.
It feels like that and Nagatoro. The internet love those.
I don't know anything about that show. I just know that people like it.
I don't like it. I actually hated Nagatoro. Like, I get that it's like a romance, but her teasing was just like
I always thought
don't
she
know.
was so mean from what little I saw of the show.
Exactly. Like I felt like I really wondered like the only person I can imagine enjoying this are people who are lightly, just a slight masochist. Because
I
like
bet people who are a little bit more in slight, a little bit more, especially the diehards.
I'm sure they're having a great time with the verbal harassment. It's not even, but I feel like the tryhards are the ones who are really into that. I feel like Nagato is like nothing. It's just like, playtime for them. But for me, I'm just like, I wouldn't want to be around this person. In my life, whenever I met this kind of person, I'm like, I don't like being around you, and I'm going to silently, but I will just move away from you.
Yeah.
And like, when they get up and close, like, yo, get away from me. Like, the thing is, I know these are like the two shows everyone likes, but I haven't found anything like I was like, wow, amazing. Because I haven't really made the effort to go out on like the anime sites, like the
like digging for good content. Yeah.
Yeah, I really haven't made the effort. The most I've done has been just rewatching shows, and even the good shows. I haven't even touched. Like, I know I should go watch Attack on Titan now, especially as we're at the end of it.
I've never seen that show.
Okay, like if there's any time for you to kind of want to binge it, this would be the time because they're at the end of everything.
I've been watching Dragon Ball from the beginning. So
cool. I've been watching One Piece.
Hey, original Dragon Ball's so weird. Goku's a little baby. He's got a tail. It's a comedy. It's very odd. But
I should watch it.
And like half the jokes are like, haha, look, Bulma's naked. Haha, look, she's in a bunny costume. Haha, Goku doesn't know what women are, so he walks up to people and slaps their genital area to see if they're a man or woman or not. And then it's like, oh, here's the fight. Oh, they're a bandit. They're taking their stuff. Oh, they punch Goku. He goes out, and then he gets out his big extendo pole and goes, ooh, got him. It's just a Journey to the West literal ripoff. Like they've got the pig. They met the Ox King and everything. And then there's the dragon at the end and everything is Shenron.
It's kind of funny to think that becomes Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. Like from a little like the cultural osmosis, of Dragon Ball. I know like he becomes this like god slaying like superhuman, and it's like no, he's just a funny little boy right now, who has been shot and just go like, ow, that hurts. So he is kind of a little superhuman man, but he also gets the shit kicked out of him like multiple times. Like Master Roshi is powerful, like really powerful. Like he can do a Kamehameha. Goku can barely do one of those. He can go eh, and that's it. Master Roshi's like, I'm gonna destroy this castle. And then everyone's like, wow, he's so cool. Well, later Dragon Ball, it's like, oh, hey, Roshi, how many, you're about to get your shit kicked in again. Oh, no, not again. Let's kill Krillin, too.
It's so sad. It's like,
it just goes so far, man. And One Piece is so long. Oh, my God, I don't know how you're going to finish that thing.
I will through just me chilling through and letting it play. Here's the thing. Like, when I think of One Piece, I think filler episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, the filler arcs and episodes, I kind of don't care. I'm at the point where I realize the only way for me to enjoy One Piece is for me to have in the background while I'm doing something that I'm more focused on, like playing a video game.
And then you're like, oh shit, the big fight's coming. What's happening? You like look over, you're like, okay, cool, the fight ended.
Well,
move on.
I mean, like I keep my volume down for the game or whatever I'm doing, and then I just let the play.
Yeah.
And then if I hear something interesting, I'm like, oh, let me watch. And then after a while, it's like, okay, cool. Or I watch and have like dinner. Like that's a good way to watch One Piece, because at the end of the day, it's very much like a mind empty, no thought show.
Yeah.
Until it wants to be a really cool show, and I think the reason I'm just getting through it right now is because I'm in the pre-time skip arcs. So because of that, I'm just like, I know this is not even where One Piece gets cool. I've seen One Piece movies; they get really crazy. So I'm like, okay, this is like JoJo all over again. I just gotta go get through part 1 and 2, and I'll be fine.
I mean, maybe that's how people see Dragon Ball. Like, you're in Dragon Ball, it's like, just get through it so you can get to the Super Saiyans,
Yeah, but I feel like the difference is though that JoJo's quicker. That's the difference.
Yeah, like
You don't have
part
to go
one's
through
like
so many
8
arcs.
episodes, and then part 2 is like what, like 12?
12.
I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Like JoJo arcs are so quick, which is the reason what makes me upset. Is like, how can you say JoJo is so boring and long?
It's so quick.
when
The,
it's
the
so
only
quick?
the only part that kind of dragged was part 3 because it's just like, here's a stand fight, here's a stand fight, here's a stand fight. Are we there yet? No. Here's a stand fight, and it's like, oh, we're in Egypt. Okay, here's a stand fight. Here's a stand fight. Here's a stand fight, Dio. Woo! We
Yeah.
did it! Time for a 4-episode mega fight that's super cool. Part over. Oh, damn it.
But you know, JoJo Part 3 is a road trip.
Yeah,
Like, it's okay. Like if you look at Part 3 as just a long road trip where you're just chilling back, episodic, you have a
Oh, yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
Part 4, really like a little mystery story. And I enjoyed
Scooby-Doo.
it.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo shit.
Yeah. Which
Part
is
5,
why it's the best part. Part 5 is like part 3, but instead of a road trip, it's just like, it's like part 3 and 4 had a baby. It's like,
Yeah.
we're a mystery road trip stand fight of the week show.
but it's fun. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
they managed to take the good parts of Part 3 and the really good parts of Part 4. And
Except,
it's
I do have to say, I think part 5 has like the weakest cast.
that.
I mean, like, Mista's cool and all, but
No,
like,
you have a good point because Fugo barely got any interesting.
Abacchio
airtime.
does, he barely got any screen time.
Exactly.
Narancia was cool, but they were just kind of one note. Mista
Yeah.
was cool because he was like
Mista
a
was
bro.
cool.
The
Yeah.
JoJo bro is always cool. And Giorno was kind of like, it's okay.
I mean, he's so serious. That's the
yeah,
only issue. with
it's
him.
like
He's
Bruno
Totoro.
felt more like the main character, you know?
Yeah. Like Bruno, Mista, and Giorno, and then
And then the
forgetting her
rest of
name.
them. Trish
Trish. Yeah, and Trish.
was
They were
just
like-
kind of there, you know?
She was there, but she felt more like of a character than like even, you know, Abacchio and like,
Yeah,
Fugo.
like if you compare them to part 3 team, it's like Jotaro, like, yeah, he's kind of one note, but also like that's kind of his role, because you have like, well, Kakyoin and Avdol are like the weakest characters in there because
But
they
they're
both
smart.
they're the smart guys, but they're also like, we have no personality type guys. And then you have the best part of part 3, old Joseph and Polnareff, who
Yeah.
saved the show because they're funny.
Yeah, if it wasn't for those two,
Then the part would be woof.
yeah,
It's like if in part 2 there was like no Caesar. I mean, that'd still be
Oh,
okay
God.
because Joseph's cool and all, but also just having Joseph be there by himself, like pre-Caesar death Joseph, like, haha, I'm funny, man, would get really
it was annoying.
It'd have been so
but
annoying.
but they work out each other. They're
Yeah.
a nice balance.
Yeah.
And then when Caesar kicks a bucket, it's just like okay, Joseph
and
is
then like
serious
ties
now.
the head of him back. It's like, I'll avenge you. It's like, oh, he's still the funny man, but he can actually like see it serious now. Cool. And you have like 5 episodes of that till the end, so it's not too long. And I haven't watched part 6 yet because I'm waiting for all of it to be out, so I don't have to wait.
Honestly, I agree. I think that you're in a good point, but if you really want to, you can.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I already know the plot of part 6. I've been spoiled on the entire thing because my brother like read the manga like 2 years ago and told me
Yeah.
about it. So like I know all of it, and I know like a bit about the team and everything, and the plot and everything. And I'm just looking forward to Poochie, honestly, like the main villain. Like
Yeah,
he seems cool.
Honestly, like the first part of part 6, after watching it, I feel like I missed the parts where Jotaro was around, even though it was very short. It was like 1 or 2 episodes, and I like it when there's like a lot more weird stuff that comes around with the alien. That was fun because there was a whole scene for the baseball that was actually really like serious and kind of funny. That kind of like got me on guard. But Poochie,
I mean, he's like barely in the beginning though.
he's
is the
barely
problem.
there. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
He's more like Dio, where he shows a bit later, you know.
Pretty much. And because of that, I'm like, ugh. why do I have to wait? And really, that's my only issue. Is this rollout of Part 6 is so weird.
Because it's with Netflix. They want to do it all at once type thing instead of doing it weekly, which is standard, you know?
Which is so stupid.
I mean, it might work for a Western show, but with an anime, it's so industry standard to do weekly. It's just weird.
Look, I get it why it's Netflix bought the rights to it, but
yeah.
Hulu would have been better to handle like the schedule.
Maybe, but like Hulu's odd because I wanted to watch Dragon Ball on there because I like to, you know, watch anime legally if I can. And it's on there, but it's only in sub, and I want to watch the dub because listen, I saw bits of Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. I remember Goku fighting like Raditz. Like I know the English VA, you know, I want to hear it. And it's like, oh, we only have sub. You have to go buy a Funimation subscription. It's like, god damn it, I don't want to pay for more money for things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I would buy an anime subscription, but I'm at the point where I don't know where it would be worth my time because although Crunchyroll has the biggest selection, I'm just kind of like, there's not really much you get, and the player I remember isn't even that good for Crunchyroll, so it's kind of like yeah, you could do it to get like a lot of anime, but at the same time, you're not even getting like a good experience for what you're buying.
Yeah, it's just that everything's so split up, you know? Like, it's over so many different things, and it's just kind of inconvenient. Like, yeah. If I wanted to watch, like, I don't know, some Disney show, there's just Disney Plus for that, you know?
Pretty much.
It's also reminding me of my troubles watching Star Trek, because I'm also watching that. It's like, oh, all of Star Trek got taken off Netflix at the end of like last September when I was just starting watching it. It's like, okay, where is it now? Paramount Plus. Oh, you mean the worst streaming site ever made?
Oh no.
And there's ads.
Yeah, I know.
And you pay money for it, and I'm there like, yes, Captain Picard, he's doing things. And it's like, hey, buy this thing, and it's like 3 minutes of ads. And I mute the video and be like, oh, time to go on my phone for 3 minutes. Oh, cool, we're back to the plot. And it's so weird because I watched the entire like original series with no ads, which made it bearable because Star Trek's already super long. It's like an hour per episode. But now it's like even longer, and it's annoying because I can't stay in the flow of the episode, you know?
And you're paying for that. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing that sucks.
Ugh.
I wouldn't do it. Like if you're paying, like I wouldn't pay for a service where they're going to still serve me ads anyway. Like just give me like the premium where I don't pay ads, or give me ads. Don't give me this worst of both worlds.
Well, situation. I can pay more money for it, but I'm not the one who owns the account. So. But
that's different. You're not the one who's paying the bill. If you were the one paying the bill, you would just like give me the ad.
Although I did learn that apparently Star Trek: The Next Generation is still on Netflix, but like no other Star Trek show is. It's so weird. So I'm probably gonna start watching on Netflix, but
I'm at the point where I'm actually starting to buy a physical disc of shows.
Yeah, like,
because
go ahead, sorry.
Because of this, bullcrap. Like I had to now, if I want to watch Konosuba outside of Crunchyroll, I have to watch it on HBO Max. HBO Max, there's not really a lot of things to do there. Like, I know there's some things from HBO, but I know people like, Game of Thrones and stuff. I'm not interested in watching Game of Thrones. I'm not interested in watching, like, a lot of stuff on HBO Max right now. I only go there for... I'm an anime fan. So when I see this stuff, I'm just kind of like, why do I have to go all the way here? Because before it was on Netflix, or it was on Hulu, I forgot. And I can't even keep track of it. Where I'm at the point where I'm just buying like physical copies. Like I have a copy of a movie. I wanted to watch The Wolf of Wall Street, and instead of streaming it, I decided to like just buy the physical disc because I had a feeling I was going to like it, and I was right. I enjoyed the film, and I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? If I can get a DVD version of shows I already like, I'd rather just buy that because it would be cheaper to just to own the show than it would be to stream it. And have to chase it all over the world. But I do think streaming has a purpose for shows I don't know I'm going to like. Like a new show like Beastars, when it came on Netflix, worth it. A Gretzko, worth it, And after a certain point, there's shows I want to go back and watch. So I don't think the Gretzko is one of those shows because I kind of just feel like...
It's kind of like one and done. Yeah.
Yeah, but... Konosuba, I'm rewatching on HBO Max, and I remember why I love the show. And I also forgot how raunchy it is at times. But it's great.
Yeah. Like I bought the physical DVDs or Blu-rays. I think it's Blu-rays. Yeah, for Avatar: The Last Airbender because like I want to watch it one time. It's like it's on Netflix, but I kind of want to have it.
Yeah.
Just in case like it ever gets taken off. Like I still have this like super important childhood show for me. And like I'm watching Dragon Ball. I'm like, damn, it might be better just to like pay the money to get this on like DVD or Blu-ray just because I don't want to like I want to support the creators. That's why I like to not pirate things. But also like I don't want to deal with their shit. And it'd be kind of easier just to buy it outright, because I've watched like 20 episodes of the 150 the first series. I'm like, yeah, I like this. I'll probably just watch all of it. And I'm thinking like, do I just get that right now? So I'm thinking about it.
If you already like it and you feel like you're gonna want to watch the end of it, you might as well buy it. Like I feel, I might even buy Attack on Titan because I liked the first season. I liked part of the second season, but it kind of got draggy. But from what I hear from people I trust, it seems like the season 3 and season 4 are going to be so amazing that I'm probably just going to buy the whole thing in full. And I feel like that's the case. Like we're regressing back to the beginning, before we had like cable where you had everything, but you didn't know what you wanted to get, and stuff that you didn't want, which is included. Now and then you had DVDs before then, where you just got whatever you knew you already like, but you had to get the DVD for someone. If you didn't have it, then you're out of luck. And now we're at streaming services where everything you want is available, but you have to pay for so many
like
dumb services,
yeah.
Which is just cable, but worse.
Or it'd be cheaper to just like try out something on like a pirated site or for like a free trial. It's be like, okay, I like this, pick it up.
Yeah, and now we're back at the most
reject streaming services, return to Blockbuster.
I miss Blockbuster.
I miss it too. I so wish it could be a thing because like if I could just like rent out Dragon Ball and just watch that, I'd be like, okay, here's it back when I'm done. And then I'd know, like, if I wanted to watch it again, I could pay the money to Blockbuster just to get it, Because it's, like one thing I love, mind you, is Amazon Prime Video. Because it's like, hey, you want to watch this movie? And I'm like, yeah, I do want to watch this movie. And it's like, okay, $3. And I'm like, cool, let's go. Or it's like, hey, you want to own it? It's like, yeah, I do. It's like, okay, $8. Cool, let's go.
That's useful.
And like I already have a Prime subscription because I order things off Amazon, so it's just like here, pay a one-time fee to watch something. Like if I could pay like $30 just to legally watch all of Dragon Ball, I'd do it right now.
Yeah.
Just to be like, okay, give me the non-pirating site like UI and like make it look good and such.
Make it useful. Give me the best UI possible.
Yeah, even though like a lot of pirating sites have better UI than like
some. Like they care about the user.
Yeah,
they know they can go to anyone else, so they focus on the user experience.
Yeah, and then they get like loyal followers. Like I watch my stuff on 9anime.
9anime,
and it's
Go Anime, Kiss Anime before it got kicked out. R.I.P. Kiss Anime.
Kiss Anime was shit. It was too slow. It was okay, and I didn't like how the UI looked. I prefer the purple look of 9anime.
Okay, look, I'll give you that. 9anime had a better UI. There's no doubt about it. But
Kiss Anime is like the grandpa. You gotta respect him.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. When I went to Kiss Anime, the loading times were never that bad. The only time I really had an issue with Kiss Anime is when they started taking it down to the point where it was just like feds and everyone was just like.
That's probably when I started watching it on there because before that I was like, I won't watch it if it's not on Netflix, like type of guy,
No, it was good back then. You just had like get an ad blocker. I mean, I know Kiss Anime.
I didn't know what an ad blocker was back then.
And then you're good. You just watch whatever you want, and after that, it's like, wow, this is good. I kind of want to support the artist, or somehow I might buy it, or I might like rent it out somewhere.
Or like buy the soundtrack or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was like a great way for them to get my money. But hey,
pour one out.
Pour one out.
We've lost a true one on this day.
There was one app that I loved called Anime X.
I think you told me about this like years ago.
Yeah, it got taken. Well, the creator still has it available, but they removed video playing functionality because they got too many like DMCA, notices, and they decided to just make it like a a My Anime List clone, like a shell, so you can just update your stuff on your phone. And I still find that's useful. Like, the good thing about the creator is that they didn't just make it an app for you to just watch anime illegally. They thought about, hey, let's connect to your My Anime List account so that way you can track your anime off of illegal sites and have it automatically updated to your account.
You did tell me about this. I remember you telling me about this like 2 years ago.
It was good. You could share it with your friends. I remember hearing it from when I was at college, at like UNF, and I was hanging out with some people playing Smash Brothers, and one of them's like, "Hey, yo, you like anime?" It's like, "Yeah, I do." It's like, check out this app. You got to disable, you got to enable like apps from outside sources on Android. They show me what I need to do. I followed the link, and after that, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And then I could cast it on my TV too. I had Chromecast ability, so it was like, "Oh my goodness!" I can pull up my phone, watch any anime from any illegal streaming site, put it on my Chromecast, all for free, and have it added to my Anime List account. Honestly, that is so good, and that's one thing that I think Crunchyroll has this functionality. I think they do, but this is the one problem that Netflix and all these other companies that are like dipping their toes in anime don't have, which is just the ability to like seamlessly connect your My Anime List account with a good UI and a good player. Because there's one thing that app had, it was amazing UI and a great player for you to work with on your phone, on the Chromecast. The only thing they couldn't do is that they had to outsource the Chromecast to a third party, but man, what a great job. It's a shame that it can't exist, obviously, because it was illegal, but it was such a good time for those 2 years. I loved it.
I bet, yeah. And like, I don't know. It's just like streaming services feel like if we had cable again, but made it terrible where you couldn't buy them all in one bundle. Like, if I was given the option, pay like $30 to $40 a month to get all the streaming service, I might be like, okay, that's honestly going to save me money.
Like, I paid $60 a month for everything. And that, because HBO Max is the premium that messes everything up, and Showtime and all them. Because they just or pay-per-view,
or maybe like split it up like actual cable bundles. It's like, here's the regular stuff. Here's like Netflix and Hulu and shit like that. Here's the anime one where you get like Crunchyroll and Funimation and whatever the hell else there is. And then like here's the sports one. Like, I don't know, you know. Honestly,
this is the reason why I love Amazon Prime Video's player and their service, because it's effectively that, but you have to. The thing is, even though I'm getting Amazon Prime, it doesn't feel worth it to get like the Showtime account connected to it, because Showtime movies I don't really care about except for the one or two. So I'd rather just rent when I want to watch it.
Yeah.
But the free Amazon originals or the Amazon titles that they get with your Prime subscription, that's worth it too.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to rent everything to watch something, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. It's nice.
I probably would do it. I wouldn't even do it like that. I would be willing to like rent out shows. Like, give me the first 3 episodes free, and then let me after that. Hey, you want to keep on watching this? You can rent out the rest of this season for $2.99, or not the season, the rest of this title that we have and the seasons that come with it for $2.99. That'd be worth it.
Or maybe if it's something long like One Piece, it's like, we'll give you the first season for $2.99, and then you can like buy for like $10. You can get like 10 more seasons. Yeah. What for something shorter like Breaking Bad? You get like, here's the first 3 episodes. Pay $3 to watch the rest of the season, and then after that, pay $10 to watch the rest of the series. It's like, you might actually do that.
Yeah, because at that point, you know how much you care about, how much you're willing to buy. And I feel like the first 3 episodes, if they don't make a lasting impression on you.
That's my general rule with anime. Like, if I'm trying something new, it's like, I'll give you 3 episodes. If you ain't good, I'm leaving.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like 3 strikes, you're out. But and I feel like what anime might do is like, okay, we got to focus on these 3 episodes because they are not good.
It's like it's like if you have a book like a novel and your hook at the beginning ain't good, nobody's gonna read it.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, I recently read Dune because I wanted to read it before I saw the movie. And mind you, the movie, like all movie adaptations, coming from a certified book reader, misses so much. You should definitely read the book instead. That is true, by the way. They skip so many things. They change scenes, and And they changed the character's entire gender. I mean, their gender didn't matter, but like, well, it kind of did because they're like the father of an important character, but now they're the mother of that character, which has different cultural meanings in their culture. Their father. Read the book.
Okay.
It's good. But the first like fourth of that book is so boring. It's so like, here's a medieval like feudalism drama. Oh, the emperor said we could have this planet, but the old guys are still here. Oh no, who's the traitor? They tell you in the book. They tell you who the traitor is in literally the first 3 pages. In the movie, they have no setup for the traitor, and it's just like, here's the traitor. And it's like, oh, who is this guy? He's gotten one scene. It makes it way less impactful. What's it called? But then after that, like after Paul goes into the desert and becomes like the chosen one, Muad'Dib and everything, it's really good. It's a really good book at that point. And like Paul has like future vision, but like some parts of it are clouded as like nexus points. Like from here I see 16 different timelines where I'm dead, and 2 where I'm alive, but one of them I'm a genocidal maniac, and the other one I'm still me. How do I get to that good one? And it's like it's cool. It's really cool, and the author's good too. But where was I going with this?
I don't know. I think it was just
plot hooks. Yes.
Yeah, plot hooks.
If I didn't know that book was good, I would have dropped it, and I did drop it for like 3 weeks until I was like, well, I'm bored. Let's see if Dune gets better. Oh my god, it gets better.
What's the thing? This 3-episode thing will still be worth it, because if you still have people who are like, after the first 3 episodes, it sucks. But there's still people who manage to like, keep on going because they somehow find the value of the next 4 episodes. People are like, hey man, you gotta watch it. You have to rewatch it. It's like, what did I miss? Like the 4th episodes where things get real. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, yes. But the first 3, it's like, I'm not kidding. You gotta go for it. And it's
like
fine.
JoJo, where it's like, nah bro. Part 1, it's kind of boring. Just get through it. Go to part 2, it's way better, and you'll love part 3 when there's stands. It's what you know. The guy goes, ooh, that's there. Just get through like 20 episodes of anime. Come on, do it.
But like, if you get to the 4th episode, it's like, are you sure I have to pay for it? Maybe there can be a way for you to like pay for it episode by episode even. Like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to want to watch this, but my friend says the 4th episode is really good. It's like, okay, sure. You could.
Or better yet, they have a gifting option where it's like, your friend rented this season for you. And it's like, hey man, listen, I know you didn't like the first 3, but please, I paid the $3. Just watch it. And they're like, fine, I guess because you rented it. They're like episode 8, and they're like, bro, do you remember when Loruto? Do you remember when Loruto attacked Swosuke because he turned into a frog? Yeah, man, that was so cool. I'm definitely gonna watch season 18 now.
Sworuto.
No, it was Loruto.
Loruto
and Swosuke. No copyright infringement meant. Oh man, how long have we been going?
I don't know. I forgot that we had music in the background.
Yeah, it's been Breath of the Wild music, so it's been kind of chill. So yeah, which I was playing this, and I realized, oh man, that giant channel that uploaded Nintendo music just got deleted from YouTube. So maybe this isn't the best thing to play, but it's quiet enough. We're talking about Loruto over it. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Fine.
But going back, you were talking about the Komi-san and Nagatoro, or whatever that show's called. Okay. But I wanted to say that the only good romance anime I've ever seen is called My Love Story. It's good because they become a couple in like episode 3, and they have like 20 plus more episodes to develop their dynamic. And also, it stars like a big guy, like he's wide and tall.
Oh, I've seen this one.
It's cute.
I heard of it.
It's good. It's like the only romance anime.
Ore Monogatari. Yeah. There's another. Actually, there is one that I stopped watching, but I probably should finish. Called Horimiya, I believe. It's a good one. Actually, the only reason I didn't finish it is because I was watching it with someone else, and we haven't finished it, so I can't skip ahead. Because there's that rule that if you do that, then you betray their trust. But we haven't touched it for months now, so I'm kind of like, oh man, I wish there was a way for me to like nullify the rule if we haven't watched something after X amount of time.
Also, you mentioned that you watched Beastars. What are your thoughts on that show?
Weird show, but
Real.
it's nice. Here's the thing: the premise of the show, like the society it's in, doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Yeah, like I know there's been a lot of furry shows out there lately, and there's been some good ones, some weird ones. Brand New Animal was interesting. I enjoyed that. The animation was fun.
That's a good show. It's a trigger show. They're almost always good.
There was, I guess you can. It's not anime, but Zootopia was a big thing.
My favorite anime.
Yeah. There's more. I really feel like there is more, and I've watched other like furry shows, like Polar Bear Cafe. But this one, I like it for two reasons. One, I love anime that is doing 3D right. Like I feel like it does a great job doing 3D animation for what it's given. Like it still feels wonky, but it feels way like we've come a long way from 5 years ago in terms of 3D animation, and it shows. Like there's still like 2D elements, but it feels a lot better. So I'll give them credit for that, and like how there's improvement. Now the show with the setting, everyone's a vegetarian or vegan, I think. So
vegetarian. They still eat eggs and like milk, but they have to be willingly provided by those animals.
Right. Which, all right, fair enough. So that stuff for me, it's kind of weird. Like, but I get it. Everyone needs to in order for society to work out, whatever. The thing that makes it really weird is how society treats the school, Cherrytown High, as like the most prestigious and so important school, with like the drama club. It made no sense. Like, why is the mayor of the town and the city leaders so focused on who's going to be the next Beastar? What the fuck is a Beastar? I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's something like, I don't know, you're like a 30 under 30 type thing. Like these are the up and coming like superstars of the world. And it's like, who cares?
And the fact that they had to focus on the Beastars in this school in the drama club. Like, what? There's no one more important, like the scientific division.
Well, I think there might have been. It's just they wanted Luis. They wanted him.
They wanted Luis. Let me tell you this. I hate the fact that the sub and the dub is so weird. It's not even like close. Why do you call him like Rui when in the sub it's Louis like the whole time? I don't know why they can't coordinate.
I think maybe it's French, like Luis, or I don't know. I didn't watch the sub, and I always thought, okay, they're just mispronouncing his name on purpose.
No, well, the thing is that I felt like it's mispronounced on purpose because I had the sub and the dub at the same time. Because I like to sometimes just, if I'm not paying attention, just be able to like read what's going on if I'm doing something else. Or just if I didn't hear something right. But Rui's name messed me up. Anyway, the other thing I didn't like about this show was about how... Look, I get it. This is like a romance show.
Kinda. It's like half a romance show and like half like a
serious
crime thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, honestly, I feel like the romance between Legoshi and Haru is so weird. And even Legoshi admits it's weird. So I'm not even going to say that the writers are like ignorant of it. They make it a thing. They investigate it, where it comes from. But to me, I just felt like Haru's use after season 1 becomes so like whatever. It's not even like a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It feels like a weird thing. Like everyone knows she was like the class girl that everyone would secretly bang and do their thing, and I really don't understand exactly what her motivations are for her, like what she lives. for, or what she goes for. But I understand a little
I think
more.
she explains it as like she wants to be like close to people, and that's why she does it. Like that she's so small that she wants to like have some impact or something.
Well,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
even that. It's not even so much that part. Like the sex part is whatever. But the thing I just don't understand is mostly like why. What is she really lacking? Like, what's the thing that is deeply that she really wants? I don't feel like I really understood her motivations of what she meant behind that. Like, I want to be close to people. It's like, well, why can't you just, find friends? Like, there's been other, herbivores that have been able to make friends with carnivores and other herbivores. I don't know why you're so different. And I know that they talk about how she was bullied at some point, but it's like, okay, do something about it. Like, hang
And
out.
also, like, Legacy's whole, like, I want to devour her, but I'm also sexually attracted to her thing is, like, a little uncomfortable. And
Yeah,
also, they just
it
kind
is.
of never get over that. I mean, they had that whole thing where they were in the hotel together, but, like, that scene just kind of fizzles, you know? And then in season 2, like you said, Haru's just basically not even there.
Yeah.
It's all, like, Legacy and Rui,
Rui.
And the bear guy, I forgot his name. Grizz.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever. I think
Grizz.
it was, yeah.
Honestly, here's the biggest thing that I gotta say I hate about this show. All right, the society makes no damn sense regarding murder. Straight up, like, hey, we have a serial murder that's probably among us. Dun, dun, dun. But we're not gonna do anything about it or call the cops, or because that would cause us a hubbub. Like, what? What are the parents thinking about this? Like, what's going on? This place seems so negligent. Like, not even Brand New Animal was as negligent in terms of the
Well, maybe
violence.
because it's based on Japanese society,
Maybe,
where that's kind of
but
like
that-
a thing sometimes, where it's like, oh no, we don't need to bring the police in because that would make us look bad and it would be dishonorable and we'd lose face, and that's more important than people's lives.
maybe I don't know much about Japanese society, so I
It's
can't
bad.
comment. But if regardless, just coming from my point of view, like my little neck of the woods, it just seems so odd. Like there were so many opportunities, like especially Legoshi, where I felt like his adventurism and heroism was negligent and hurt people. Especially in season 2. Like there was points where he like, oh, I know who the killer is. It's Grizz. I should probably call the cops. Like,
Well, it's
no,
like, no,
I'm-
instead I'm gonna go into his locker and steal his water bottle and drink his water. I don't even remember why he did that. I just distinctly remember that part. And then Grizz walks in and is like, hey man, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No,
Swipes
because he
him.
was trying to leave a letter to.
Oh no! He was trying to get like
The
was he-
letter.
I think,
Because
or
the
ma-
sheep. Yeah, because the sheep left or the note to be like, come catch me outside. And then Legoshi's like, "What? Are you stupid? He's going to try to kill you." And he tries to run into
You're
his
right.
locker.
He did do that, and then the bear guy like slashes him, but some like cleaning lady comes in. They're like, "We'll kill each other tomorrow night under the bridge," and it's like, okay, like,
It's like,
bring a
I'm
gun.
like,
just
I'll raid him.
Yeah. Hey, stake this place out. I know who the serial killer is. And
Yeah,
they're
like-
we get him. Bang, bang, bang. And avoids the whole thing of like Rui losing his leg. I mean, I know it's a big moment for them. Like, Legacy, please eat me. And it's like,
Stupid. You know what the smartest person was there? The sheep, like the goat. The goat was the smartest person there because he was brave too because he
Yeah.
was willing to like flirt with death just so that way he can keep them under control. Because I feel like he knew that if he wasn't there to calm everyone down, they would have gotten into a big fight and more people would have got hurt. So I gotta give my hats off to the little pervert out there who's
the ladies man sheep guy. Yeah.
Like, clap to
Dude
him.
is a hero.
He saved so many people from getting killed in that, like when Grizz and Legacy were about to like square up in the middle of the dance, in the theater,
Yeah.
in front of everyone. Like he was like, "Hold up, everyone! You guys look really strong, you know." And they were just so baffled, like, "Who is this goat? Why is he coming?"
Who the fuck? What herbivore would be stupid enough to come in here? Like it's like it stun locked them. They were like,
Yeah.
what does not compute?
It's like the equivalent of like of a deer charging at a wolf to be like, "What's up? What's up?" And the wolf's like, "What?" They usually run away. what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's like,
Or it's like two knights are fighting like in the middle of a field, and some like 4-year-old runs up like, "Stop what you're doing right now!" And they're like, "What? What? Who is this kid?" Yeah. Can't you see we're murdering each other?
it's like, can't you do this somewhere else? You're gonna cut down the petunias. My grandma worked a lot of hard to make sure these flowers stayed up. Look, you're stepping on them. It's like,
Okay.
can I?
Sure.
Can I kill you? Can we kill each other tomorrow?
No, I'm kind of busy at 2. Can you do 5?
You know, how about tomorrow at like noon, high noon? That sound good?
Well, I usually have lunch around then, but maybe we can like have lunch then head out, like
Fine.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you then. We're going to Joe's Crab Shack.
Oh, I love Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah, I know. He's allergic to oysters. I'm gonna poison him.
But yeah,
Tangent podcast.
Tangent podcast. I feel like that's the thing of it though. Like Beastars has so many problems that seem so simple to solve by just involving any sense of authority.
Oh yeah.
That would solve so many problems. Ruby going to the underworld and his old dynamic.
I never got that.
I don't understand that. Like, why do you want to go into? I understand. Actually, no, I partially understood why. Because like he wanted to be the big bad and like take over. Like,
and he's like, "Fuck you, Dad," like that sort of thing, because he hated his dad.
Which I get why, but at the same time, I'm just thinking like this is a weird way to go about it with a Shishigumi. And also the fact that the Shishigumi were like, we could really use some good PR. I'm like, why do you need good PR? You're a gang.
You're literally like if it was in the modern world, these are literally like marauding mafia men who just eat people. It's like, yeah, they'll get good PR, sure.
Honestly, it's like, imagine the Bloods and the Crips are like, hey, we really need to focus on our PR and like our public relations.
Yeah.
We need to do some community outreach. Hey, we're going to go back to our roots and try to like do some food donations during COVID-19 and try to help.
Let's show up like prayer services and everything. Like, yeah. It's like, no, bro, you can't do that. It's too late. Just listen. If they want to do PR, they should have just destroyed the organization, started over.
No, I feel like they're trying to be like the mob and just be like the friendly neighborhood face. But at the end of the day,
they still eat people. Yeah.
Well, which like people are gonna still hate, but I understand why where they stand. It's like, yeah, we eat people, we help facilitate the trade, but we do other things like protection services, and also we have a strip club which we run. Like,
I forgot that they had that.
There were so many like sexually charged things in the show, which I get it. It's anime. There's a lot of sexually charged things in anime with just human characters. So I can't even get like too angry about that, or not angry, but just too like frustrated about it.
Yeah.
It just felt so like unnecessary, and then I felt it more unnecessary now that they were all like furries, and because of that, I was just like, and not even like regular 2D furries. But like 3D, where 3D is already like an art form, we're kind of at the point where we're like, it's getting better, but we're still not at that point where it's like, wow, amazing. So to see it like that was just like I could deal with it, but I just didn't it didn't make me feel anyway. It didn't make me feel like it made sense. And it came at this weird place where the herbivores wanted to be this teetering place of like death and life.
I didn't get that. Like, why would you willingly I understand the adrenaline, but you could get that from, like, a roller coaster,
Yeah.
Why would you willingly be like, oh, this thing wants to eat me right now? It's like, I wouldn't go near a grizzly bear for fun. That just, like, I'd see them and be like, oh, shit, and get out of there. That thing's gonna kill me.
You know what this is? This is like the equivalent of someone who's like, they're so upset with life that they had to go into the middle of the woods and start stripping for a bunch of bears and dance just so they could feel that like sense of life in them.
Yeah.
I was like, the weird.
The ultimate thrill seeker. It's like that dude who went in the woods and lived with the bears and eventually got killed by him, but now sex edition.
I swear, like it's funny looking back on this show now I think about it.
Yeah. Like when I was watching, like, oh, this is pretty good, but now I'm like, what the fuck? Man. Oh. And it's also kind of weirdly like racist in a way.
Really?
Because they're all different species, and like all these like the wolves hang out like that one female wolf. She's like, why would you want to date a bunny? We're wolves. We should keep it, in the blood instead of being with them. And it's like,
but the thing is, it makes sense because
I know, but
they're
they're different species. That's also why I don't like Zootopia, because it's an allegory for racism, but it doesn't work because they're literally different species.
Yeah, like you know what's a good way to do this? Aliens, any like humanoid creature.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's so many good ways to do this, but no, they had to put like actual animals, which you just give more fuel to the fire of like the social or Darwinists who are like, certain species have to evolve and compete, and these groups do best because they're the top. So the alphas deserve to chomp on these bunnies and whatever because that's evolution. And also like
and it also
at the end of the day
gives into their idea of like, oh yeah. My species is like the wolf, so therefore we're the strongest, and we're actually good because we're allowing the rest of you to live and not eating you. And it's like, well, with aliens, it's like in Star Trek, it's like, for the entire series, Klingons bad, Klingons are evil, they do war, and they're our enemy. And then the final movie, they're like, Kirk, we need you to go make peace with the Klingons. He's like, but I fucking hate those slurs. And they're like, no, you're doing it. And by the end, he's like, damn, I guess they're still barbaric savages, but some of them are okay. And then by the next generation, like the first episode, it gets into you so much. Like I see Worf on the main deck, and I'm like, why is there a Klingon on the Enterprise? What the fuck? And then like the series really gives him episodes and time to explore his culture. And it's like, yeah, they are kind of obsessed with violence and pain, but they're still like people in the end. They have their own rituals, they have their own things, but they're still normal. Except his solution to every problem is lock phasers on fire. But that's cool, honestly, because nobody else does it on the ship. Picard's like, oh yes, there's a phaser blast and photon torpedoes coming. Let's have a meeting about it. Worf's like, sir, maybe we should shoot the phasers. No. And it's that meme of everyone giving us the ideas, and then the third guy gets pushed out the window. That's Worf whenever he gives a fucking idea. Yeah. Don't do racism with things that are that explicitly different, because it don't work.
It doesn't make any sense, and I feel like that's my issue with these like furry animes that have been popping up is that they're not even like good at what they do. Like I love Polar Bear Cafe because it's a furry anime, but it doesn't talk about like. It doesn't try to explore race through animals. It just talks about like it goes through human traits and anthropomorphizes them. Like it anthropomorphizes animal traits, or I don't know. It anthropomorphizes animals by using those animals' traits as like a tie to humans, but like to a low extreme, Or like it's not even doesn't even matter, and they just make it funny by the fact that. Yeah, you're smart and all, but you're a tiny little penguin. Like,
you are small.
Yeah, like people can relate to that. Like, people won't take you seriously because you're a height, but it's funny because it's literally a penguin. He can't do anything about it.
Or like people like me and you. It's like, oh yeah, you're big. You can carry these boxes. I'm like, I really don't want to. Get somebody else to do it. It's like, nah, but you're big. It's like.
That's what they do for a grizzly bear. He's just like, yeah, you're big and strong. Can you just handle all these boxes? Like, why am I always bought for this? Like, because you're so cool. It's like, really? Yeah, now go ahead and pick up the boxes.
Yeah, get to work. Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. Man. How did we get onto racism and furry anime? Tangent Podcast magic.
Tangent Podcast.
Yeah, that's how it is. Well, it's been about an hour, and I can't think of another topic to really talk about at the moment, so I hope you enjoyed your discussion of furry anime racism and Ejon finding purpose in life in the same episode. Very related topics.
Honestly, I would have find this without going through furry anime racism.
Some people find salvation in the weirdest places. It's how it is. Anyhow.
Next time we can talk about NFT furries.
Oh, one of my coworkers is into NFTs and crypto, and he won't stop talking about it.
Honestly, it's a giant scam in my
It
eyes
is.
because I don't. Because my problem with my only issue with crypto and NFTs, because I bought some, sold some just for speculation. But the reason I don't like it, after really thinking about it for like a year and a half, because I spent like a year trying to debate whether this is worth it to buy. This is a stupid amount of time for someone to devote to answer this question, but still. I thought it didn't make any sense because unlike the internet, which everyone's saying like, oh, the crypto's like the early internet in the 90s, you don't get it, bro. And I'm like, no, the internet was obviously useful from the beginning. Blockchain, it can be useful, but I don't see a case at my point, besides like identification, man. Crypto doesn't have a real use case because it's just a commodity. I can trade it like whatever just to speculate and take
And it's
money
not
off
even
of.
physical.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, what you're doing is taking money from Paul to pay to yourself or to pay the gym because there's enough jimmies that pour money into the pot that you can just
Enough
siphon
marks.
off of.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's just a usual like pyramid scheme scam type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like to me, it didn't make any sense. And NFTs are even worse because it's just like, oh, we're gonna try to give art to artists. Like, I guess you can use like existing methods, or you can even add an NFT to that. Like, hey, I want to give special perks to people who buy my music. Here's an NFT purchase, so that way you can get like backstage tickets to whatever event I'm doing. Like that's fun and all, and I think that's fine. But like that has a very limited use case, and you can still do that with like a database. And
it just takes it's just like the same amount of work. Instead of putting all this stuff in a blockchain, just have it be like, yeah, here's like a special like login for these special tickets because you were the first 100 to buy my album. And
and like, oh, you're gonna trade your ticket, your NFT that buys an album and trade it for someone else. Like, oh, I want to get the backstage tickets. I want the discount, blah blah blah. Like, okay, fine, but most of the time this thing's used for scams. Like, or stealing or art theft. Like, matter of fact,
tons of it.
Like, a bunch of people have been having their art stolen and being pumped and sold as NFT by a creator they don't even know about and they can't do anything about because it's just how it is. It's unregulated. And I'm not to say like, oh, regulation is like good and all, or like regulation's bad. I just think like there's some sensible regulations that need to be there. And this is one of those things where like finance, people's money, like you don't mess with that. I feel like this is just, it's cruel, but whatever, I guess. I don't want to get into it. I really thought about it for a long time. I don't think this is something I can put my money in because even in the off chance that like the US dollar drops, like which I heard like Bitcoin bros been saying, that's the beginning of bigger problems. Like, if the US dollar becomes like trash, the whole world's in a big problem. But even if that was the case, a better thing would be to do? Just buy like get Chinese renminbis, Chinese yuan, or Japanese yen.
Physical goods.
Buy physical goods like a generator. That's worth a lot more than
or
Bitcoin.
Like I don't know, buy like guns or food or gold or things that will always have some kind of value. Yeah.
Not even gold, because gold gold.
But like physical things that are necessary. It's like those will always have value. Yeah.
Yeah. A plane ticket. A plane.
Yeah.
Like, my money is gone. What do I do? It's like, do you have like a suitcase? Do you have like a way to travel out? You got a visa? You got a passport? You can leave, bro. Like you can be a refugee. Go somewhere else if things are not working for you. But like it seems like a mess. I don't think this is like the way to go. I know it's helped other people, like in Venezuela, some people saved their money from like the sanctions the U.S. did on the country by buying Bitcoin, and because of that,
that's like a rare use case,
it's a rare use case, but they could have done the same thing with like Chinese yuan or Russian
or even
rubles,
like
or
Brazilian whatever their currencies, like something nearby,
Like, you really could have done the same thing by just buying and trading for something else that has a more stable value. Yeah. That's really it. Bitcoin's a mess. It's a roller coaster.
Oh yeah, and because it's all speculation. It's like the stock market, It's like you can only really guess.
Look, honestly, if you want to get into it, fine. Play around with it. I think anyone who's like talking crap about Bitcoin, at the very least, should like, if they really feel like second thoughts, put your money into it, play around with like money you're okay to lose. Like I put in $200, I gained 50 to $75 through speculation when it was growing up from like 30 to 60, and then I sold at 60 because I realized that this makes no sense. I made money by just holding it, and it's not even like a productive asset like a stock. Where if I own a share of Microsoft is actually doing things and will continue to do things. Like that's the reason I would say like put all that money into crypto and put into a company that actually has good fundamentals that will continue to be valuable because the people who work there are making valuable things. That's what real wealth comes from, when you're producing or getting a share of value that's been given to the world.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Like, you want to save investment? Go invest in Amazon. They're so big, they pretty much cannot fail, like, ever. Unless they do literally everything wrong for several straight years. And even then, I don't know. They're so big.
Like, Amazon, Microsoft,
Google.
like, who else? Costco.
Yeah.
Google's a little bit more vulnerable, but
they are. They're in a bit more vulnerable than something like Microsoft for sure.
They're an ad company at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Facebook. Oof.
Oh yeah. No, sorry, Meta is what they're calling themselves now.
All right, Meta. Man, what a bet. I don't think it's gonna pay off. But
no.
And it's kind of sad. Like all these companies are like gaming. Gaming is the next frontier for finance.
Because it's the like next big form of media, Just like how TV was back in the day and streaming was like 10 years ago. It's like, wow, gaming and VR are like the next big form of media. And you see these ancient like boomer companies that are formed in like 1991 being like, how do we do things? Yeah.
Honestly, I would put my money into like, I don't know, AI or like things that will continue to be valuable, like 3D technology if you want some growth, where it's gonna like, actually produce things for society, like prosthetics or building materials, like actual value things, solar, if you want some new stuff like that. But this seems like hype.
If you want something that you'll definitely get a return on investment on, unless there is a literal worst case scenario, government bonds. Those are
losing money.
It depends on what rate you get them at, but they're very low risk. You'll almost always get your money, unless the government collapses, which is every year that's a higher chance.
Yeah, honestly, man, like I would use a government bond if I wanted to like save money long term
for like
and
a
just
house.
not have it.
Yeah,
for like a house. Yeah, that's kind of worth it. Though I would probably try to go for something that's a little bit more portable,
like a hedge fund or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or index fund. Like honestly, I would probably just like. This is not financial advice, but I guess the thing I'm looking into now is like global index funds. Just like give me the most broadest spread possible. Just like, is the economy of the world going to go up or down? Up, great. Or a company that I actually believe is going to be valuable. Those are the two things I'm going to care about, because at the end of the day, I kind of realized that, which is the thing I said at the beginning. The only way for you to make money is by either owning a business or owning a share of a business, because you're owning productive labor that you don't have to do. So that's useful. I understand now that that's like kind of the only way to do something that will get you a lot of money. I mean, in a short amount of time.
That's true of power too. I mean, look back at human history. The people who had power are ones who ruled things or ruled over a specialization. Like the people who had power were like the guild masters. Like, oh yeah, I'm the leader of the Smiths. That guy has power because he can go talk to the leader of like the village or like the kingdom. Be like, that guy has power, and then the guy above him is like an emperor. And there's nobody above him. He's the top. That's like the Jeff Bezos of the ancient world, Jeff
Bezos of the modern world, mind you.
Yeah.
Give it 30 years.
Oh yeah. Emperor Bezos incoming, and then below him will be like leaders of governments, and then below him will be like state governments, and then below them, county, and below them like business owners. So you'll be part of the bourgeoisie soon enough, Ejon. Don't worry.
Yay! Now I could be a class trader or something. Yeah, I like the T-shirt, by the way.
Oh yeah, Disco Elysium. You can't.
Yeah.
Let me show you more of it. It just one of the screenshots from the game.
It looks like it looks like a photo or like an album cover.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I like the big print. Looks cool.
Yeah, it's great. Have you played more Disco Elysium?
I haven't, because I've been playing Phoenix Immortal Rising, but now I'm gonna get back into it. because
It's
I got to the
extremely
point-
depressing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there's two games I love that. Well, there's one game I love that's depressing, which I talked about, this War of Mine, and I feel like as I'm playing Disco Elysium, I'm like, damn, same vibes, but just
Well,
not as
because it's like
bad.
post-war, not during war. You know, it's like the war was we're in the aftermath, like decades later, and it still sucks.
Yeah. Though every time I decide to boot up this War of Mine, I'm just reminded of like, okay, I need bullets, I need beans, and I need a plane ticket. That's the most important thing. Get out. There's not even like a good.
Every man needs those things.
Honestly, like I feel like everyone's better off just leaving. Like, oh, there's war coming, just leave. There's nothing worth staying for unless you definitely feel like you can survive.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you look at like refugees and stuff. They're like, yeah, let's just get out. Anything's better than this.
Poor Syrian refugees. Poor like the people fleeing climate. Like the climate refugees are like, it's too hot to live here. Where the water has flooded everything. I have to leave.
That's
like,
gonna be our like descendants in like 150 years when Florida's going under. Like they'll be trying to go to like
150 years. Well, yeah.
Well,
I feel like
South Florida's gonna be gone. Like maybe by the end of
the-
our lifetime. I don't know.
I feel like end of our lifetime, South Florida is just underwater, and Orlando, maybe Pensacola or Jacksonville might still be there, like inland Florida, and then by like another 50 or 75 years, everything in Florida is gone.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
And then the Georgia state government's like, I'm not letting those damn Floridians in. Yeah, that'll be our like grandkids. Yeah.
Screw the Cuban, the Mexicans, the whoever, Jamaican, Haitian.
Mickey Mouse can stay in his kingdom, like that type of shit. Yeah.
I wonder what Disney has been planning for. Like, what are they thinking? Like,
inflatable raft.
That makes sense. That makes like a water, like over water city.
Oh yeah, because it's part of their like Magic Kingdom thing. They can rebrand as like an Atlantis type thing, you know?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be actually cool, and I would give Disney props for adaptations. Like, you have the money to do anything you want, and you use it in a very interesting or maybe productive way. So props to Disney for making the first water city.
And then they resurrect Walt Disney. And they put his frozen head on a robot.
Why would they do that? Why would they need to do that?
So Disney can be anti-Semitic again, okay? They need it to happen. They need to bring Walt Disney back so they can be anti-Semitic again.
Wow, that's. I don't think that would ever work out. But all right.
Maybe in the water world future, who knows?
Oh, we have like an anti-Semitic government, and it's just like, yeah, we're okay with open racism. Let's bring back old Disney.
Yeah, racism has returned. Resurrect Walt Disney. Yeah, that's step one and step two. That's the exact process. Yeah. Oh man, I think it's a good place to call it, man. Thanks for coming to Tangent Podcast again. We should hopefully be here next week. Oh, cool, the song's ending. See you then, and have
see you in the cyberverse.
See you in the cyber world.
Bye.
Bye. I was about to end the call. Wait, it's still going.